Assalamu alaikum. You have been asking for this video for a long time. So, here it is. I am your teacher for today from Chikloo studio. But before getting started, have a look at this amazing painting. Do you see the face of a woman? Do you see the black and colorful side of life? Which one is correct? Are they both correct? So, according to you, what would be your opinion? Well, you will find all the answers in the way of your understanding. By the way, how would you describe this action? What do you think he's doing? This lesson is all about phrasal verbs. According to this picture, as you can see that, he is jumping on the ground. So, jumping on is a phrasal verb. Well, you might be wondering about what exactly is a phrasal verb. So today, I will show you how to really understand and learn English phrasal verbs. Their meaning seems completely arbitrary and random. The traditional method will only tell you about how to memorize it and repeat it, which means it's easier for us to understand them. In the scientific study of language, or we can say that in linguistics, the idea in which one word have different meanings is called polysemy. You understand these words according to your perception, or I say that the understanding depends upon the action which is happening in front of you. So according to this phrasal verb have deeper logical meaning. Your understanding is the path to understand phrasal verbs. Now let's discuss first that what do you mean by cognitive level? Well, the meaning of cognitive level is the act or process of knowing or perceiving. We'll discuss it with an example to make your concept clear about this. So, take the first phrasal verb, that is break off. It has two different meanings. The one meaning is to end up a relationship, association, etc. And the other meaning is to stop doing something. But this is one word having two different meanings. Similarly, when we talk about idiomatic phrasal verb, draw on, so the meaning of draw on is first meaning to approach, second meaning to pass slowly. Now the important thing which we all should know about these two words is it doesn't mean that you should draw patterns somewhere to use this phrasal verb. The difference is learned by cognitive linguistics, which is different from one another. Now let's talk about that what exactly we should keep in consideration. The important factors are: number one, the working of mind shapes language. Number two, the way of learning things have a different effect on the language we use, and they both are really different from one another. So, we will discuss 6 interesting tips about phrasal verbs, which will really help you to understand it. So, let's get started. Tip number 1. What is a phrasal verb? So, phrasal verb is basically a verb which means a word used to describe an action, state, or occurrence. But further, phrasal verb is divided into 2 categories. One is verb and the other one is participle. These 2 things are included to make a phrasal verb. And further, phrasal verb add on adverb. It can be an adverb or it can be a preposition. In the description, I have highlighted the definition of these two words. So, the example of preposition is decide on, and the second one is depend on. When we go towards the examples of an adverb, we can see that there are three examples: stand behind, see below, go down. The second important thing which we should keep in our mind is it a transitive or an intransitive phrasal verb? Well, this part plays a very important role. According to transitive verb, it requires an object to complete their meaning. For example, when we talk about I want ? It doesn't make any sense because I want is not giving you a clear meaning about what is asked. The information is incomplete. So when we say I want a bag, the information is complete. The same rule applies with transitive phrasal verb. For example, he's looking behind the blinds. Can you turn off the light, please? Now it is giving a very clear picture about what exactly the question is asked. Now we'll discuss about intransitive verbs. Intransitive verbs cannot have a direct object after them. For example, he arrived. Here we cannot have an object after the transitive verb arrived. You cannot arrive everywhere at the same time. It is incorrect. The subject is doing the action of a verb and nothing receives the action. So this is how it completes the definition. The same rule applies with transitive phrasal verb. There are three examples which are over here. 1. I'm tired and I don't feel like cooking. Let's eat out. The second example, I really enjoy my visit to Germany. I'm planning to go back next spring. Third example, my son wants to be an astronaut when he grows up. So, in both of the cases, the meanings are different, not the same. Some phrasal verbs are either transitive or intransitive depending on the meaning, as you can see in these two examples. It is important to know both transitive and intransitive verb because it helps you to understand how to use it correctly. And if we doesn't know about it, so automatically we can face difficulty while writing the sentences. Now the third most important part is it separable or inseparable? Yes, it is very important to know this. Separable phrasal verbs, verb and particles are easily separable in this definition. Let's take a word turn down, which means to reject or refuse. The other meaning is to low down something. It is a transitive phrasal verb. For example, can you please turn down the volume? She got a job offer from a big company, but she turned it down to pursue her career in arts. Similarly, inseparable words cannot be separated. Let's take a word broke into, which means suddenly to do something, which is also a transitive verb, phrasal verb. As you can see, he broke into tears. You cannot say that she broke tears into, or they broke into the room by force. You can't say that they broke the room by force. So this is exactly the difference and the formation of sentence. Number 4 is very important. That is, they're just multi-word verbs. They need to be treated as seems like other verbs in a sentence. There are two things which we have to keep in consideration. 1. Which tense is being used. Second, they need to make the subject that they are being used with. Now you see the difference, that how the verb changes every time. The fifth important thing is how to find the right phrasal verb. Well, You don't need to Google them, otherwise you'll get frustrated. You should practice the relevant and commonly used words in your daily life, or you can practice those which are connected to your life experiences, for example, through books, through blogs, TED Talks, transcript, magazines, articles, etc. You can even search the information on Google search bar as well, where you can just type a word and then multiple news will occur in front of you. You can open up that news and then you can have multiple different words including the phrasal words. So this exercise is very important, and if you do this exercise, definitely you can learn a lot through all of it. Number 6 is practice using phrasal verbs in the right way. So what I did in this, I took multiple phrasal verbs and then I have a situation into my mind. I have written the situation on a piece of paper. As you can see that the situation is in front of you. If you will repeat the same strategy, then automatically you can learn all of these words very quickly. So I hope that the information was really informative for all of you. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to never miss an update. Thank you so much for watching to this channel. Do give us your feedback as well so that we can make future videos for you which will be really effective. Allah